Welcome in, Kuma Crew. It is once more your favourite friendly despair bear, Annakuma, and we're here with a June Next Fest demo. That's right, I now have demos coming out of my ears again, so enjoy. Today I want to talk about Realities.io Inc.'s puzzle game Puzzling Places, which also has VR support, so you can VR this game if you want to. It is a very simple concept. You have 3D puzzles to put together, and put together you will. There are 3 stages in the game: a tutorial, a very basic level with a lady and some cats, and then a royal wedding. Each area, as you put it together, comes to life with wildlife, people, and all sorts. It's kind of magical to watch. That being said, the game also does everything it can to frustrate you. You have an arcade mode and a tabletop mode. I picked arcade mode and then wasn't allowed to switch till I finished all 3 stages. The tutorial is unskippable, so if you for whatever reason end up in it again, the game won't just let you get rid of this massive text box. Not that you really need to go in it again. I just restarted because I was having screen issues and had to redo it. I never looked into tabletop mode because arcade mode had frustrated me too much. Maybe 50-50 blame on me, but let me explain. After doing the tutorial and then the 50-piece version of Cozy Corner, I thought I'd treat myself to a long, multi-hour, 400-piece fun time. I love puzzles, I always have. This game was aimed at me, and I wanted to enjoy every moment. Even though I was recording for the demo series, I didn't care. I'd take the warning of multiple hours of fun seriously and get down to it. It wasn't fun. For a start, it isn't the longevity of it that made it unfun. I never finished it, and for a few reasons. First up is that most of the pieces are obviously randomized. In arcade mode, you get 6 pieces and can toggle between them. In tabletop, they are all just there. It is such a pain to get the same piece over and over and over again when you don't have the rest of the puzzle they can fit into. One piece would just forever toggle back and you'd pick it up and be like, oh, this piece, well I still don't know where the heck that's meant to go, but it would be there constantly, which made it 100 times slower than it needed to be. Next up is that on a small map, the navigation is nice and simple. You move using left click and right click to rotate. When you get something this massive, first up, it's just a pain, but more importantly and secondly, you are always either too zoomed out or too zoomed in. Half the time I don't even know how I ended up zoomed in or out, but most of the time it just gave me a headache. Another big problem is this is such a cool design and idea. You are building the puzzle even on the insides of the buildings. The bad news is, the camera isn't your friend, and if your pieces just so happen to randomize, so you've sorted out things that are behind a piece you've not got yet, then you'll have to struggle to find where it goes later on. Then the biggest crime. The puzzle pieces don't lock into the front of the screen. Often you'll pick up a bit, it'll rotate to its direction, you'll be in the right place, but the piece is just behind the puzzle. If I can't see the pieces, how am I meant to put it together? It was frustrating, it wasn't fun, and I ended up just doing the 25-piece version to see if there was anything at the end. I then stupidly pressed into the tutorial for tabletop mode and gave up before looking at it because I was just too frustrated with how unfriendly the game was to use. Again, it isn't about the amount of pieces or the time-consuming nature. I wanted that challenge. The game warns you, but if the game worked, it would have been fine. The simple fact was that I had to fight the game to get it to work, and then just rely on the sparkles to show up to dump a piece and hope it attached. Heck, even doing the 25-piece version of Royal Wedding wasn't really fun. Again, because it's so huge, you end up needing to be zoomed so far out to do anything. Not only that, they could do with a counter of how many pieces are left. I don't know, I know that the game is meant to be time-consuming, but I just find it cozier to know where I am. I don't know, this game bugged me in ways I can't even describe anymore. Which is sad because the Cozy Corner level was so much fun. I'd like to end on a positive, and the positive is just that Cozy Corner shows lots of potential. For smaller puzzles with a lot of charm, this game is going to be great. For the bigger ones, it might be a chore to complete, even on easy options. Not just that, the quality of the characters isn't up to scratch either, which is fair. Maybe I'm being moody because the game drove me insane. I said end on a positive. Well, we aren't going to end on a positive, so let's just get into this. This is a game I'm tempted to still get when it's out. That being said, it does also use AI. To quote their Steam page, some of the smaller attachments to the puzzles are generated using generative AI tools, and generative AI texture filling functions were used to clean up texture artifacts of 3D scans. I'm pretty sure that is just standard AI usage for something like this, and nothing too worth getting upset about. but I know AI is a hot topic, and if even filling function is enough to make you avoid it, then I feel that I needed to let you know it is there. I'm guessing it's just used to make the puzzles go back together in a nice way though. I don't think the actual images are being created in AI. Overall, I'm disappointed with this demo. It was the first game I played from this June's Next Fest, and I was excited. The bit of disappointment I feel is so strong. I might pick it up because puzzles are my favorite thing, but ultimately, I do not approve. I've obviously been watching too much Lionfield. I don't recommend is what I mean. I'm not changing what I said, it's what the Italians did to me. If this game interested you, even through my mostly negative review, then the link to the game page is down below. Give it a wishlist and help out the devs. That is it for this micro rant, I guess. If you would like to keep up with this bear here and all my ranty behavior, then please leave a like on this video, comment below on how much this game would frustrate you, and subscribe. Also, give me a follow over at twitch.tv/Annakuma, where I actually do puzzles sometimes, on screen, real life ones, with my hands. Either way, thank you for watching as always, and bye bye.